Hello and welcome to What the Football. We are back with yet another video, and the football season is just merely days upon us. You know what, I thought, why not do something original? Let's do a Premier League 2022-2023 prediction video, because no YouTuber has done that. Absolutely nobody. So what will we be discussing? We will be discussing top 6, bottom 3, first manager to get sacked, top scorer, underachievers and overachievers. Let's get down to it. Okay, bottom 3, very simply, Fulham, Bournemouth and Leeds. Fulham, again, they do this thing every single year when they get promoted. Spend a load of money, Trivic's going to bang 30 goals like he did in the Championship. Not going to happen. He'll struggle, Fulham will struggle, Silva will get the sack. End of. Second team, Bournemouth. Is Scott Parker good enough and prepared for this level? Has he got a bit of Premier League experience with some of the players that are in there, but I'm talking about Dominic Solanke here as their top scorer potentially. You saw how he flopped last time in the Premier League. I don't see him having a good season. And the third team, surprised at some but Leeds United. I think the likes of Everton, Nottingham Forest and maybe even Brentford could be pushed down into this relegation battle. But I think overall Leeds United, I don't particularly think the manager's good enough for the Premier League. I think the signings that they've made are a little bit meh. I also think that the players that they lost, Rafinha, Calvin Phillips, the two most important players in their team, were going to be absolutely vital to their success this season. And because they've lost those two and replaced them with players that aren't really Premier League quality, I think Leeds will struggle in the long run. On to the top 6, and I've done this based on what I think now at this current moment in time. Chelsea 6th. I think they might have a bit of a transitional season. There's rumours that they're going to buy Cucurella. They don't really need Cucurella. They need a right back, they need a centre back, they need probably another striker. And I think they might just have to ride the storm with this new owner. The loss of so many important players to the team. Still could lose a couple of players. I think Chelsea might have to write off at least the league. 5th place, Manchester United. They haven't really improved the team that much since last season, although one thing they have improved is that they've got a much better coach. I think Erik ten Hag's the right man for the job. I think he's the most modern day coach Manchester United have had in about 30 years. I think the signings that they've made are actually good signings. There just hasn't been enough of them. They prioritise this Frankie de Jong deal when really I think the Ruben Neves deal, which they could potentially get as a backup to de Jong, could be a really good signing. And then they can use that and then prioritise other areas of the pitch. I just think that the 4 teams above them are going to be much stronger and are much better prepared than Manchester United are, hence the reason why they're 5th. 4th place, Arsenal. At this current moment in time, I feel Arsenal getting top 4. I think it's the first time in a long time they've actually come into a season pretty well prepared. They've signed Zinchenko, they've signed Fabio Vieira, and they've signed Gabriel Jesus, all before the season starts, which is normally not what Arsenal do. Normally Arsenal, by the end of the transfer window, the end of the month, still need a couple more players. They probably still need another midfielder maybe. I think the squad is a bit more settled. I think they've sorted out positions that they desperately needed, i.e. up front and i.e. cover at left back and midfield with Zinchenko. And I think it's make or break for Arteta this season. And I think if Arsenal don't get top 4, I think his head will be on the chopping block. 3rd place, Tottenham. I think if anybody's going to try and compete with Liverpool and Manchester City, I think it is Tottenham. But I also think Spurs can maybe compete in other cup competitions as well. Conte is a serial winner. He likes to win trophies. He prioritises winning trophies over everything else. And I think we could see a season where Spurs could actually end their long drought. 2nd place, Liverpool. It's really difficult because I think Liverpool have a squad good enough to win the league. It's just that I feel that Manchester City have a better squad. Maybe not individually, but I think maybe what Manchester City have that Liverpool don't have is that they've got more experience at this level. Liverpool players, of course, have won trophies. They won plenty of trophies. They won 2 trophies last year. But I just think overall Manchester City have just about more than what Liverpool have. I just think City's overall quality will probably get them through. And I think with Liverpool as well, personally, I put them as favourites to win the Champions League over Manchester City. But I also think City could prioritise the Champions League over the Premier League. That's why this season's going to be so intriguing. There's so much to play for. I think for the first time in a long time, England have got the 2 best teams in Europe without a shadow of a doubt. And I know that's not officially true because Real Madrid are the champions of Europe. But I think the quality of the players, the quality of the teams, the quality of the managers, I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool win the league, but I still think City overall have a better team, much more experience at this level. And now they've got a 20-goal-a-season striker. Right then, on to my overachievers of the season. Overachievers, underachievers. I'll go for my underachievers first. I've seen a lot of people put Manchester United in this category. A lot of these people put Manchester United in this category. The whole point of the underachievers category is that they've got a squad good enough to compete in a certain area of the league, and they won't compete for that. That's the whole point of the underachievers list. Whereas Manchester United are a lot of people's favourite to finish 5th, 6th or 7th. So they're not really underachieving, are they? They're literally where they should be. I'm going to go for Aston Villa. I see a lot of people putting them potentially as challenges for the 7th position, the 8th position. I think they could actually genuinely struggle. We see it every season with Aston Villa. They spend a load of money. They bring in like Leon Bailey last season as a replacement for Jack Grealish, Danny Ings, who both flopped. They got rid of the manager. They brought Steven Gerrard in, who, with the greatest of respect, is a young manager. I think it's a big job to take. I think he should have stayed at Rangers another season just to kind of get a bit more experience. And I still think there's a lot of deadwood in the Aston Villa side. And onto my overachievers, and again, this is a bit of a left field shout. I think the overachievers this year could generally be Nottingham Forest. I really like the manager. I think they've signed some really, really good players. I did think that they might be in contention for relegation, but I will not be surprised if they finish 12th or 13th, which I think for Forest. And I know Forest have won 2 European Cups, but I think that's a really successful first season back in the Premier League. On to the first manager to get sacked, and again, there's plenty of contenders for this. I'm looking at Jesse Marsh. I'm looking at Brendan Rodgers. I think they could really struggle this season. I don't think either of them spent wisely in the transfer window. One of them actually really spent in the transfer window. But they've both lost really important players. I think they could really struggle compared to last season as well, where they both didn't have particularly great seasons. I think the first manager to get sacked this year is pretty much everybody's first choice on this list, and that's Frank Lampard. Again, Everton have not really improved. They've replaced Richarlison with Dwight McNeil, a player who scored 0 goals last year and I think got 1 assist. Basically the Lancashire Stuart Downing. They signed Tarkowski, who I think is a really good player, but I think they're relying a lot on Yerry Mina at the back, who's of course very injury prone. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's just got another injury. That's going to be absolutely massive for Everton. I think overall Everton Football Club are a mess. They're like a diluted Manchester United at this moment. Nobody quite knows what they're going to do. They've got high expectations, and I don't think they will go down this year, Everton. I genuinely don't think they'll go down. I think they'll just about be alright. But again, I don't think that's an underachievement for Everton. I think they are where they should be at this current moment in time. I don't think they're good enough. I don't think they've got good backup players. I think the recruitment the last few years has been absolutely woeful, and it's been shown up fairly recently. And I think unfortunately for Frank Lampard, who I thought was a pretty strange appointment in the first place, I don't think Lampard's way of life, his personality quite suits Everton. Working class city, working class area. They're two completely different worlds, and I think Frank Lampard's world and his ideology is a bit different to what Everton wants. So for that reason, I don't think it's going to work out for Frank, unfortunately. I think he might struggle to get another job in the Premier League. I think he might have to work his way back into the Premier League by getting a Championship job, and I think he's going to struggle, and I think he's going to be the first man to get sacked. On to the final category, and that is the Golden Boot winner, the top scorer. Who's going to score the most goals in the Premier League this season? Nunez and Haaland, I think they're going to be up there. I think Ronaldo could be up there if he stays at Manchester United, although that is a very big if. I think Mo Salah's a contender. I actually think someone like Jota's a very good contender, or even someone like a Diaz. Diaz could have like a Mane type season where he gets about 20 goals, but I think for me it's just down to one man, and that's Harry Kane. He's got the Shearer record in sight. It's World Cup year. He want to prove to Conte that he is the man. He'll want to win trophies. He wanted a great end to last season, and I think he could be up there for assists as well. So that was it. That was my predictions for the 2022-23 season. What do you think? Have I got any wrong? Is my opinion completely wrong? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below your predictions or what I potentially got wrong. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Have a great rest of the week. Have a great weekend. Premier League football is back. Hallelujah. See you throughout the season.